Good morning guys, it is a sunny Monday morning and this is London Loop day 5. Today I'm going to be walking sections 12, 13 and 14 in reverse as always. Now the plan was to do this hike yesterday, but it was Sunday, I had some train trouble, plus I quite badly injured myself, so I needed the rest. I'm currently walking around Hatch End. The aim is to get to this park and then follow the London Loop from there. So section 14 I'll be walking from Hatch End to Moor Park, then section 13 from Moor Park to Harefield West, and finally section 12 from Harefield all the way up to Uxbridge. So I'm looking forward to walking by the canals today as well. So yeah, let's go. Alright, first London Loop signs to indicate that we are going in the right direction. Already we're in an open field. There are, this reminds me of the Lee Valley actually, because you've got pylons over there. So yeah, usually I do about 2 sections per day, per London Loop day. Those sections have been really long normally, they're anywhere between 12 to 17k, but today all my sections are just under 8k and the last one's about 10k, so 3 sections altogether 23k. That's actually quite manageable compared to the previous one, which was about 32k. So this reminds me of me doing sections 24, 3 and 2, like 3 sections together. So yeah, absolutely looking forward to this. Great start. I wanted to start a bit earlier in the day though, but I couldn't because I had a few errands to run. So it's about just past 12 o'clock now. Should take me about 5 to 6 hours. I should be done by 6:30 tonight. Yeah, let's crack on. Right, 10 minutes into the walk, I need to cross over this field and walk through horses actually. Oh well, let's do this. I am a bit scared, but let's crack on. They are standing right in the middle of the field as well, so I need to be really quiet, really careful and walk along really. I am walking as quietly and cautiously as possible. We've crossed all the horses, they are right behind us. Oh, yeah, it's not that I'm scared of horses, it's just walking through a field with about 10 horses can be a little bit frightening. But yeah, we've done that so far. They're minding their own business and grazing. So that was a bit scary. But yeah, we've done that now. We've crossed over to the other side. Let's crack on. I feel like I'm 10 minutes into my hike and it is awfully quiet, which is really lovely by the way, but it does feel strange. Normally the first sort of 20 minutes is you're navigating traffic to get to a field, but this time around it's actually absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I'm just going to carry on. Okay, walking through yet another field of horses. I guess section 14 is the horse section. I mean, they are lovely and it's quite nice, and they are miles away from me though, but still, horses. The other observation about this section is there's signs everywhere. Like so far, even without my GPS, I would have easily made it to where I am. Yeah, it's clearly signposted, and it's always a good thing because I do not plan on getting lost today, because I don't want to get lost and I don't want to waste time because I started quite late. Normally I start these hikes about 9:30, 10 in the morning. Today, though I started it at 10:30, by the time I got to Hatch End it was about 12 o'clock. So yeah, we're not getting lost today. We're just gonna focus and crack on with it. What's incredibly funny is while I was filming that last clip saying that we're not getting lost today, I was actually walking in the wrong direction. But luckily I was able to just stop and go, you know what, I need to walk about 10 meters back and take a left instead. That was actually quite funny. We're entering the Oxy Woods Local Nature Reserve. We're in a woodland, forest woodland. Not too sure exactly what's the difference between the two of them. Walking on a nice woodland path. This is the terrain that I love walking because you're protected from the sun. Quite nice, relaxing. I'm running into two lads. I'm surprised I've actually run into people because we're in the middle of nowhere. I guess they are exploring as well. They didn't look like they were hikers. They just looked like local teenagers. They're trying to get from one place to another, I guess. But the view is gorgeous. Some really beautiful trees in this woods. So I've quickly looked at my route. I'm walking about 4.5 to 5k an hour, which means it should take me exactly 5.5 hours to finish the whole hike. So I've given myself 6 hours. So I'm gonna crack on. I have to say, after London Loop day 4, which was it Saturday? No, I believe it was Thursday, last week Thursday. This is just relaxing because that day was very hectic. Section 16 was all over the place, whereas now I'm doing section 14. It's beautiful, it's quiet, calming, exactly what I needed after a day off yesterday. Alright, we come off the main trail. Now we're walking through deep forest right now. This is the route. I can see a London Loop sign there, so I know I'm heading in the right direction. The hat's come off. Surprisingly, today is a lot cooler than the last couple of days. The last few days has been anywhere between 30 and 32 degrees. I was 34 at one point. Right now it's about 26. I think it's going to go up to 28 soon. Also, it's meant to rain today, so that'll be a nice treat actually. I'm coming to the end of this forest now because it looks like I've got a road I need to cross over, and on the other side it looks like it's another forest as well. So I'm going to focus on making sure I am going on the right way. Looks like we're literally crossing over from one side of the woods to the other. That was probably one of the most straightforward crossings ever. It was nicely signposted and there was an actual middle island to cross on. Wow. Section 14, you're something else. If you are a massive sort of forest and woodland fan, I would say go to Epping Forest. This is an amazing alternative. So is the forest in Havering. That was beautiful. One of the interesting things I've noticed is that normally when you're walking through forests like this, there are little streams running through, ponds, but due to the drought that we've been having for the last couple of months, it all seems to be dried up, which is really sad. But it is what it is. That's why, fingers crossed, if it rains today or tomorrow, it would just rejuvenate all these plants in the forest and it'd just be amazing for the nature. All right, yet another sign, London Loop sign. So we are walking in this direction. But look at this tree though. Wow, I'm impressed. I am definitely impressed. Is this going to be my favorite section so far? Well, I don't know. I'll answer that question right at the end of the day today. Look at that tree. I feel like every time I see an interesting tree or something worth talking about, I'm going to stop and start filming it. That is definitely going to sort of affect my progress today, so I need to really hurry up and not get too distracted. But again, I do walks like this because I want to get stopped and distracted by nature and all the scenery, because it's a good way for me to sort of discover areas that I've never been to before, especially in London, or should I say within Greater London. So yeah, hence why I've always given myself an extra hour or two with these hikes, especially in summer. It's not a problem because sunset's normally not till about 8:30, 9. I wouldn't necessarily advise doing the walks in winter, especially in woods, because you're going to get dark and lost. But if you time it properly, you'll be just fine. All right, we've got to make another crossing, and this looks pretty straightforward as well. So before I start any section, I do a quick little reading about what that section consists of, how far it is, which I didn't do today because I was in a rush to get out of the house. So, and I normally do that on the train as well, but today's train journey was something else. I was just too busy doing my Spanish lessons, I guess. So this section is 7.7k, so it's actually very short compared to the 15k sections and the 16k sections I've done. And I am already halfway through section 14, and we'll be completing this section in Moore Park, and I have no idea where Moore Park is. I'm sure there is something there significant, otherwise it wouldn't be called Moore Park. Maybe there is a park called Moore Park, I'm not too sure. So yeah, that's that. I think the rest of the stretch is through this lovely forest, so I'm going to put the camera away. I'm just going to enjoy the moment and yeah, soak up the nature, I guess. So we've left Oxy Woods and came into South Oxy playing fields. We're back again in an open field. There isn't really a specific direction to which way I need to walk, so I'm going to refer to my GPS really quickly and try not to get lost. Just looked at my plan route. It looks like I just need to cross the field from one side to the other, and I need to go in a slight angled left way, so it's like a slight curve I need to take. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to walk through the middle of the field, heading towards the top left corner, where I'll be leaving the field and crossing over another set of roads, I think. So yeah, it's been really quiet so far. So as soon as I got out of the nature reserve, it was just suburban roads for about 200 meters. Then I'm back into another woods. Already I can see a London Loop sign sort of further up there, so I know I am heading the right way. I've got to say, so far this has been incredibly peaceful and calming. I hope it stays that way. There are signs saying I'm not far from Moore Park, so it looks like once I come to the end of this road and turn back into the main road, I will be finishing section number 14. I guess to summarise, it's been an incredibly peaceful and scenic section. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Didn't get lost. Yeah, all good I suppose. I feel like I need to cross over here because there's a little opening coming up in the woods. So let's do that. Made it to the other side safely. So I almost took another wrong turn and walked about 100 meters. I had to walk back on myself. I feel like every time I'm filming while I'm talking and not paying enough attention to the route, I'm going the wrong way. So what I need to do is when I get to junctions or areas where the path splits or it joins another path, I just need to be a bit more careful and walk the right direction, I guess. We got pylons. This is giving me proper Lee Valley vibes, because when you're walking by the Lee Valley, there are the pylons running alongside the River Lee. Not quite, you know, River Lee, but this is good enough, I guess. Okay, I'm walking literally parallel to the train lines. We need to cross over shortly, so let's look for a crossing of some sort. There we go. It looks like a bridge underpass, should I say. All right, safely crossed over to the other side. I guess we're going towards sort of Moore Park, Brickmansett Way. I need to quickly double check my route to see if I've actually completed section 14 so far. All right, I am happy to say that I've completed section 14 of the London Loop and started section 13. Okay, section 13, it is exactly 8.4 k's. It's a bit longer than the previous one, so I feel like I've got another hour and a half to go, almost 2 hours to go till I get to Harefield West. Now, I will be walking through Denham Country Park as well. If I can find a spot there, I'll be taking my lunch break there. Let's crack on. So, I was walking through Moore Park Conservation Area. So when I read that sign, I was thinking it would be like a forest or, you know, a nature reserve when someone calls it a conservation area. Instead, it was like a really posh area with loads of nice houses and private roads, etc, etc. Yeah, that was that. We crossed over now. We're going through a little alleyway to get to wherever the other side is. I haven't actually looked at where we're going. There was a London Loop sign, so I know I'm heading in the right direction. So, from what I've read so far, section 13, the current one I'm walking now from Moore Park to Harefield West, is incredibly similar to the previous section, walking through woods and forests and paths like this. Every now and then you'll have to cross over a main road or a little country road. Yeah, so far so good. The heat actually has gone up a bit. I was expecting it to sort of calm down and rain, but that hasn't happened yet. At least I got some blackberries for snacks here. I've almost tripped over on a tree stump that was well hidden and fell over. Luckily I didn't. This is why it's quite important to actually not just look where you're going, but also look down when you're walking as well, because you don't know what you're going to step on. The last time I had an accident was when I was walking through Havering, and I was walking in an old field, empty field. I didn't realise there were cracks everywhere, and my foot went through one of the cracks. It wasn't serious. I hurt myself though, but this was actually quite bad, because if I would have fallen over, I would have landed straight into a ditch and hurt myself quite badly. So yes, always be careful when you're hiking, especially when you're solo hiking, because you never know who's going to help you if you're in trouble. Yeah, keep that in mind. Alright, more London Loop signs, so I know I'm heading in the right direction. We are heading towards a town called Bashworth Heath. After that it would be Bashworth, then we'll be turning a left and heading towards Harefield. None of these names I've never heard before, That's why it's interesting for me to explore these areas. Alright, we made it to Batchworth Heath. There is this really lovely pub behind me. It's quite tempting because it's a Green King pub and they have a decent IPA, but if I stop there I'll probably take an hour's break and I don't need that right now. So we're going to find the London Loop signs and then crack on with it really. Otherwise if I stay here for too long, yeah, I don't want to stay here for too long. So yeah, let's go. Crossing that road was a bit of a nightmare because it's quite a busy road. It's a three-way T-junction. There's no pedestrian crossing, there's a bus stop. Yeah, so I had to literally like walk around and wait for a while till I could actually, you know, find a nice spot, safe spot to cross the road. But we made it to this lovely forest now in Batchworth Wood. The Batchworth Wood? I can't quite remember where we are now. Somewhere nice basically. We're walking underneath a pylon. Today would have been a good day to wear trousers because I'm walking in this terrain. There's all sorts of thorns and yeah, a lot of thorns. And this route hasn't really been maintained at all because obviously I don't think anyone actually comes here to trim these bushes and maintain them. I just need to be extra careful till I get to the end of this path. Then I believe it does open up into a slightly larger path afterwards. It's beautiful though. I mean, look around. We are finally out of that narrow path with all the overgrown bushes and the plants with the thorns. Apparently around here we need to take a sharp right. I don't see any sharp right. Aha, there you go. We are going into a forest now. It's incredibly dark and eerie in here. Oh well, quite nice actually. As far as I'm aware, this is not a bridleway, it's just a normal footpath or a woodland path. I feel like someone's taken, or I know for a fact someone's taken their horse through here in the last couple of hours or last 2 days, because that horse has left a lovely trail of poop. So, aha, we are in Bishopswood Country Park, the Three Rivers District Council. So interesting. I don't know about which three rivers they're talking about, but I'm happy to see this London Loop sign and we're heading that way. So a fallen tree ahead of us which is blocking our path, so we'll have to find a way through it. There is a big enough gap for me to fit through, so I just need to be a bit more careful while doing this. Here we go. Okay, made it to the other side. You can see that this tree's actually been uprooted. It's probably when the storms were happening a couple of months ago. Wow, look at that. Oh well, ducking through that gap was a lot easier than, I guess, fitting through that fence with barbed wire during our previous walk. Yeah, that was quite annoying, but this is quite nice. We've you know, gone past our obstacle. We're back on track now. So we've been walking in the woods for the last 20 minutes or so. We're still in the woods, but we come up to a much more open area now and it's going uphill. So I was wondering, normally when you're walking around the greater edge of London, it's constant drops with the altitude up and down. Today's been quite flat so far. I've done a little bit of uphill earlier. It was a bit uphill now, but it's sort of flattened out already. Yeah, not bad at all. I feel like the sun's gone down a little bit. That thunderstorm that we're expecting might actually happen within the next hour or so. Either way, it's not going to stop me. We're going to carry on all the way up to Harefield West, then probably take our lunch break there. I think overall I've done about 10.5k so far. The entire walk is about 23.5, 24k. So when I get to 12k, exactly halfway through, let's see if I can find a nice lunch spot. If there is one, I'll take my lunch there. Otherwise, I will walk all the way till I get to the Grand Union, sit by the canal, have my lunch there, and then complete the last section after the lunch. Another fallen tree. We've come out of the forest and into an open field. The wind's really picked up actually, and I can feel a bit of water in the air, so I think it might actually start raining soon. I'm not going to stop and wait for the rain, I'm just going to crack on instead. We need to go in that direction over there. Let's go. Loop sign over there. So, the temperature has drastically dropped. I mean, it was about 28 degrees, so it feels like almost 24, 20 now. It's a lovely breeze. I don't know how loud I need to speak because every time there's a breeze, the microphones get a bit muffled. Yeah. I feel like I need a break after this, at least a water break really quickly, because I haven't had any water since I was in Hatchet. Yeah, need to keep hydrated at least. So, I walked up to the country lane with no pavements, obviously, and it's told me to cross over to find a path, the path I'm on now. But weirdly enough, I had to walk through the car park of the pub to get to this path, which is really strange. So I think there should be more signs there in the future to say that come through the car park or something like that. Other than that, I am back on track. Let's go. I am walking alongside this farm with horses. It's been really quiet the last, 10 minutes. There's literally no one else out there. I saw a farmer. I've seen about 50 horses. Yeah, very scenic, very quiet. It's nice. And now we're coming to the point where we need to climb over to the other side. So there we go. And looks like we're going through a cornfield. Alright, we are practically halfway through our hike right now. I've done about 12.6k, and the original plan was to have my lunch break halfway through, but I am in the middle of the field, so I don't think I'll be having my lunch break here. So I'm going to crack on till I find a nicer spot to sit down with a bench maybe, or as I said earlier, we're going all the way up to the Grand Union Canal and then having our lunch break there. So it's been farmland after farmland. There's a sign over here. It's telling us that we're heading towards the Hillingdon Northern Link, which is part of the London Loop. Well, that section is part of the London Loop. Let's go. We're walking alongside another cornfield. This has been full of fields. So the first, I guess, section 14 was full of horses. Section 13 is full of fields. And I'm assuming section 12 is going to be full of canal. Just walked past a dairy farm with a lot of cows. We've come out into this suburban sort of road now. We need to walk on this road for a bit longer till we find another trail. I can see a London Loop sign ahead to say to take a right, so I'll be crossing over this road in a minute and following the loop. Alright, walking through yet another narrow footpath. I'm walking alongside an allotment, I think. So allotments that way, and we're more or less on the Hillingdon Trail, which I've come across before while I was walking the Grand Union last summer. So I'm looking forward to seeing a bit of that as well today. The weather's still a bit calm. It's sun's back out again though, but there's still a lovely breeze, so it's very tolerable. Yeah, I'm gonna crack on with it. I've done about 14k so far, so not long till we end section 13 and start section 12. Let's crack on. Alright, behind me is a field that is being set on fire. I don't know if it's a controlled burn or if it's an accident that might have happened and something might have caught on fire. You can see even the fens and the forest 2 bits nearby is caught fire as well. So I don't know, could be a controlled burn to, you know, stop the field catching on fire, or could it be an actual fire that was dealt with? Oh well. Now I'm heading straight down that direction, which should take me all the way to Harefield West. Let's go. So by walking, I came across this sign. It says Old Parkwood Nature Reserve, Herts and Middlesex. I guess this sign's a good 30-40 years old, because Middlesex doesn't really exist anymore, because it's part of Greater London. So it's an odd one. Might have been there for a long time. So it's Old Parkwood. So when I do get home, or on my way home, I'm going to do a bit of research to see how long that sign's been there for, I guess. It's little quirks like this I enjoy sometimes. As we are nearing the end of section 13, I feel like this is a good time for me to do a quick summary. So section 13 has been wonderful. It's been mostly forest and woodland, some fields and farms, absolutely no complaints at all. Didn't get lost, clearly signposted. Yes, overall I feel like it's a really good continuation of section 12, section 13. It's been beautiful. Took some lovely photos. I guess today's been ideal really, because section 14 went beautifully, section 13 is going well, and I'm like 2k till the end of section 13, and then I'm looking forward to walking alongside the Grand Union Canal and, you know, ending my hike at Uxbridge. It's just been a beautiful day really. We are literally a couple of 100 meters away from the Grand Union Canal. That means section 13 is almost over. Now, as I said earlier, this has been a beautiful section. No complaints here at all. I'm looking forward to taking my lunch break and then starting section 12 afterwards. I'll come to a junction. I believe I need to take a right here to get to the Grand Union. Let's go. Oh, maybe not, because there's a sign saying I need to go upriver. Oh, let's figure this out actually. We are finally walking alongside the Grand Union. Now, I more or less remember where we are, because I walked the Grand Union from Hayes and Harlington all the way up to King's Langley. That's one of the first ever big walks I did last summer. So right now I'm actually doing part of that walk in reverse all the way up to Uxbridge. So yeah, this should be pretty straightforward. What I need to do now is to find a lunch spot, because I haven't had my lunch yet. I could really do with a 20-minute break, food and drink. There was a lovely pub though, which I could have gone into for a drink, but I normally leave the drinking till the end of the hikes. As you can probably see, I'm ducking underneath all these branches because the towpath is actually a bit overgrown. It's incredibly relaxing and calm and scenic, but you do need to duck out every now and then to cross over safely. The other thing is, I know quite a lot of people cycle down the towpath as well. they need to be incredibly careful, because I say that because I do the same thing along the River Lee navigation. Looks like we're coming up to a weir of some sort, because I can hear some water dropping. So let's go and figure out where it is. Oh, I was right, it is a weir. This is why I love the Grand Union, because it becomes very quiet and idyllic on a day like this. It's a Monday afternoon, it's about 3 o'clock, 3:15. I ran into like 4 people in the last hour. 2 of them were fishing, the other one was just sitting by the river. Yeah, I miss the river walks. Even though the London Loop was amazing so far, I'm halfway through, I've done 5 days so far. I'd happily do a river walk any day. I guess some reason I'm connected to, I like being near water, I like walking alongside water. There's something romantic about that, actually. Not too sure what, but something incredibly romantic about it. Okay, first lock of the day. Lock number 85, Blackjack's Lock. I remember stopping here last time for a quick drink, but today we're cracking on. Alright, I've come up the towpath, took a slight detour, and oh my god, I just discovered this. How beautiful is this? This must be a lake of some sort. I need to figure out where this place is actually. This is ideal to have a lunch break. Even though that was a good spot, I feel like I'm going to get back on the towpath and stick to the path, and then when I find some nice seating, I'll sit down and have my lunch break. But that was a good surprise though. Walking along the Grand Union has been beautiful so far. No complaints here at all. I think we've got another 2k to go till we come off the Grand Union. We cross over to the other side and we walk along another path. I'm not too sure what that path is, so I'm going to have a quick look in a minute to see where we're going and give you guys an update. So there's a lovely breeze. So we're going to come off the Grand Union in a bit, cross over and walk along South Harefield, and is it Harefield? I'm getting it wrong. And walk along Denham Country Park. So we will be walking along the river, but just on the other side. That will lead us all the way to Uxbridge, and when we get to just before Uxbridge, I'll do a little summary. Yeah, so far so good. I'm absolutely loving this. We've come up to this interesting looking structure. It looks like this used to be a bridge to go to the other side, but it's been blocked off. There must be a small airport or an airstrip nearby, because I'm hearing a lot of planes and helicopters in the last sort of hour or so. I know RAF Norfolk is not too far from here, but I'm not too sure. Yep, you can hear it. Or is that construction? I'm not too sure actually. Let's be nosy and find out. I guess that is some sort of construction or heavy machinery, because yeah, that wasn't a helicopter. Right, we've come off the towpath. Went up this road and then entered Denham Quarry Woodlands. There is a lot of construction happening somewhere behind the Grand Union near the towpath. So I did a bit of research, went online and had a look. apparently they're constructing something to do with the HS2. So I know for a fact the HS2 runs through here, so that's all the noise and the rattle and the machinery, I guess. So yeah, that's done and dusted. We are walking through this woodlands now, and we're going to follow a path, and then we're going to eventually walk alongside the Grand Union again. According to this wooden sculpture, we are taking the Clone Valley Trail. So the Clone Valley Trail, the Quarry Trail seems to be the same trail with different names. Yeah, I feel like this is the perfect spot for me to find a place to have a break, because I still haven't had my lunch break. So I didn't feel like eating while I'm in the towpath because it's a bit narrow, and yeah, that's that. I'm waiting till this trail opens up and we walk alongside the Grand Union. Then I'm definitely taking a well-needed lunch break. I guess when you're on a walk like this, people notice different things. Obviously you pay attention to the routes and stuff. As an artist and photographer, I'm always looking at colours, and this has such a autumnal muted vibes to it. It's like browns and oranges and red, but there's also plenty of like muted greens. Such a weird colour palette. It's a colour palette that I quite like, actually. Oh well, just an observation. Let's go. So there is quite a lot of disruption going on here because of the HS2 works. We just need to cross over very carefully. So, for that construction, they are building a bridge for the HS2 that's going to cross over the canal and everything. I guess obviously before the HS2 you've got to build a bridge, hence why there's a lot of racketing and all that noise. So I'm going to let them do their work and crack on with my walk. Now, on this side you can see some of the construction. There's vehicles and everything. To our right is the Grand Union Canal. I am walking on the opposite side. Yeah, so far so good. I am walking along the towpath or on the other side, and next to me is a canal boat sailing, and I've just looked at my plan and my routes, and I've actually got less than 5k's to go. So I've actually walked a considerable distance so far. I've done about 19k so far, so I've got 4.5 something to go. So yeah, well impressed. I'm well impressed about the whole thing. No problems at all, not feeling tired, not getting lost. Yeah, it's just been one of the best walks I've done so far in this whole London Loop challenge. There is this incredibly beautiful bridge above me. I guess obviously it's a railway bridge. I don't know if there's any trains that actually use it, because I haven't had any trains so far. I guess the reason they're building a HS2 bridge down the road is because this is too old for, you know, super fast trains, I guess. Wow, this is amazing. In fact, I actually did just hear a train go past that bridge. So yes, it is a bridge that is actually being used by trains and stuff, I guess. Wow. Just, yeah, this path has been full of new discovery. I'm on the lake's edge. I just took a short 15-minute lunch break. It was exactly what I needed. Now, I got about another 3.3k till we get to Uxbridge, so another 3k on the towpath, and then when we get to Uxbridge it's going through the city centre to find the train station. So I was going to say, I think now it's the perfect time for me to do a quick summary of this walk actually. In fact, I want to do it as I'm walking along. Now, today I completed sections 14, 13, and I am about to complete section 12 in the next hour or so. So far it's just been amazing. Right, the scenery has been beautiful, literally no confusions, clear signposting. I've got to say, day 5 of London Loop has been the best one so far, no doubts about it at all. And it's a short one, but it's an incredibly scenic one. It is just straightforward one. So yeah, I think that's pretty much my summary of the entire day today. I'm gonna crack on walking and get to Uxbridge now. Looks like we are leaving the Denham quarry and joining the tow path shortly. So there's a bridge to cross over. Aha! And we are back on the Grand Union. Just walking past Denham Lock, got about another 2.5k to go. So far so good. I feel like I'm actually getting a bit tired now. Definitely could do with a nice cold drink when I get to Uxbridge. I might even pop into a pub I might even actually pop into a pub when I get to Uxbridge, because I know for a fact there are a couple of nice pubs, not by the canal but in the town. You never know. The tow path is crossing over to the other side. If you're not familiar, if you're walking canals, this happens quite regularly. So we're over to this side now. We're going to be going underneath a very loud motorway that's behind us, and we are walking on the left now. So we got another 100 more meters left on the tow path, then we're going to cross over and head into the town of Uxbridge, where I will be ending today's hike and completing day 5 of my London Loop challenge. That means I am 50% the way in, I'm halfway in, so I've got another 5 more walks to do. I'm taking a couple of days to rest, and I'm going to start my next walk on Wednesday after that. We've come off the nice quiet tow path into a busy main road. Yeah, so when I get to a quieter place, I'm going to do my summary and my outro. Right guys, finally made it to Uxbridge Station. Yeah, day 5 of London Loop all complete. That's it from me guys, take it easy. Cheers, have a good one. I'll see you later. Bye bye.